Check out this Tumbleweed Stargazer. Yes, it is a nice chromoly steel gravel adventure bike. Absolutely. Customer of mine bought the frame and fork. We're putting on parts from his other bike and doing some little conversion pieces. So switching it from 11 to 12, which the gear cluster has already been swapped out. Got to align the cables to the rear derailleur as well as the hydraulic lines to the brakes, making sure everything is nice and tight. But before that, while it's still brand new, I'm going to add a beautiful ceramic coating to the frame and fork, clean the parts, and give them a good ceramic waxing as well. So let's just dive into this and see what we got after this. So here's the Tumbleweed Starlight. It's an extra large, and it has this gold glitter paint, which will be beautiful in the sun with like a ceramic coating. It has a one by that we're putting on, and it has the SRAM componentry on it. So without further ado, we'll clean the wheels, and then he has a new chain which we're going to wax. Get the caliper on there, bar tape. Once we get everything adjusted with the new rotors, and we'll put all the ball cages back into place. Hopefully I remember where I put them. In any case, let's dive into this one part at a time. Well, first we got to do some ceramic coating. Prior to the ceramic coating, you want to actually clean the frame with any kind of oils, fingerprints, and all of that. Very important. This is simple green diluted in water, about half and half. You can take a fairly clean rag, spray it on the rag. I never spray directly onto the bike frame. Then I wipe down the whole frame and make sure it's all ready to be prepped with the ceramic coating. Once that's dried and ready to go, we'll apply the coating itself. What I use is an applicator that I get at Walmart. They're not too expensive. Plus, ceramic coating that I use is ceramic SLAM from lithium. You can use any ceramic coating you want, but you just want to make sure you get a type that's a stackable ceramic coating. In other words, you can apply it, let it dry for 10 or 15 minutes, and then reapply with another coat. What that is doing is going to allow extra layers of protection in addition to when you do additional coats that way. Therefore, you make sure you get the frame coated at least once or twice. And I usually end up going over it about 4 times. For used frames, after all the cleaning and detailing, that gives me an opportunity to inspect the frame for any kind of blemishes or damage or any of that. But with a brand new one like this, holy cow, this is going to be a dream. Just put this on like so, and once you clean that surface, it opens up that clear coat pores. If there are any kind of abrasions and so forth, it will fill those in, and after it gets knocked down, it will be a super slick finish. Well, not just because of the slickness of the actual ceramic coating is nice, it is, but when you actually add that layer of protection of UV, protects that frame, paint, and decals. In addition to it develops a high level of water beading. What that does is once it gets dirty with dirty water or mud or what have you, all you need to do is rinse it off with low pressure water or spritzer like this, and that will shed all that gunk right off. And lo and behold, it'll be a lot easier to clean and therefore a lot more better to maintain. In addition to, if you have any kind of scarring that gets down to the actual steel itself, the ceramic coating will actually provide a waterproof barrier to help it from not rust. Because titanium doesn't rust, but chromoly frames do. So let's keep wiping on and applying. See you after a couple coats. Looking at the Stargazer from Tumbleweed, it's an awesome little steel frame and fork, full chromoly. Yes, it is made overseas in Taiwan, but they've vetted a high quality manufacturer over there to build up those particular frames and forks for them, which is pretty nice. And the paint is beautiful. But looking at a full bike and also part, I'll have the description and as well as the link below from Tumbleweed, and they do sell the complete bike for roughly less than $3,000, and the frame and fork for around less than $2,000. Well, with a particular full bike build, I probably would encourage, regardless, unless you have a complete set of componentry to swap over to go ahead and do the full build for just 1,000 more. Reason being is you get the full wheels that are appropriate and brakes and a whole 9 yards. But unless you want to kind of cherry pick exactly what you want to do, that's a good opportunity to build up your perfect to you bike. This is a adventure gravel style bike, so it does come with pretty wide wheel ability, and it's pretty nice. You can do 29 or a 27. Is that an option? Is a through axle. So you got all the updated features of the newer bikes, but with the classic frame design where the cables are mostly all, well, they all are external. That makes it easy for anyone that could watch a couple of videos and actually work it on themselves. You don't have the rigmarole of all the internal cable housing and that continuous issues. But the particular bike itself is a pretty awesome adventure style. If you're kind of aged out like myself, that mountain biking is kind of no longer the focus point of full suspension or front suspension, if you still want to get out on dirt and do light trail riding, this particular bike and similar ones of it are pretty awesome. And being versatile, doing different wheels, that's pretty cool too. So you really have a lot of different options to work with this bike. It is not the lightest one, but the feel of steel, which is coined and actually followed by a lot of people in this realm that I actually work in, is pretty awesome. It has a comfort level to it. It has a whole bunch of mount screws for pretty much every accessory that you want to load it up. If you want to do full touring, backpacking riding, or just light gravel riding, this bike will probably be for you. The gentleman that dropped this off bought the frame and fork new, swapped off parts from a previous bike that was basically destroyed, and we built it up. It's all ready to go. He's actually enjoying it now as we speak. I will probably get some full photos from that here soon to share, but the particular bike fits him pretty well. He's a pretty tall individual, so he has the extra large, so for me to test ride, it was kind of a good, nice challenge. But in any case, I can still feel how it felt as it handled, and it is pretty awesome. I would not hesitate for a bit if I was looking for a pretty decent frame and fork to build up or a complete bike. I mean, when you're looking at 3,000, I know it's still a lot of money. It's still a lot of money to me in addition to, or up to 4,000 if you want to do a complete build up. But in any case, it's, you know, it's pretty decent. And when you're looking at the particular website and also the company, is pretty easily to assemble those parts. And they are more than willing to help put those particular parts together for you in a sense of direction. This particular one, we had to convert the shifter from 11 speed to 12 speed. They had a little adjustment or a little ratchet system built into the SRAM, which they guided Kevin to do that, in addition to helped me out when I called them to make sure the brakes were properly installed onto the frame. They have pretty tight tolerances of craftsmanship as well on this frame, so it actually worked pretty well. I didn't have to do any retooling or facing on it out of the box, so it was a win-win. And the company was basically answered the phones when you called them. And that is basically a big thumbs up for me, because when you can talk to somebody from the company and actually that particular representative knew the bike, knew the customer, and knew what they were doing for conversion. So it was really kind of a breath of fresh air that they actually knew the bike I was working on and the problems that I was dealing with and the time. In any case, well, let's take a look at the final product in the sun, and in addition to how it looks, very pretty. In any case, well, thanks for hanging out with me in the garage. We'll do more reviews on nice custom build bikes in the near future. There's a couple more in the pipeline that'll be coming in, and also some new tools to review as well. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's nice in your neck of woods. Please go for a ride. And in addition to, if you have a bike like this or something similar, or if you came across another niche brand that actually is pretty decent, please comment below. This is a community to share. And hey, anything for the alternatives from the big bike brands, nothing against them, but I kind of really like the warm hug and also the attention to detail for the smaller brands. And sometimes they can outperform or also give a better sense of community. Well, thanks again for hanging out with me. Until next time, from the garage.